So it's bright and early here in Kensington. We're gonna take a stroll through it, going through some of the neighborhoods and the architecture. We just took a right on Kensington Drive going north from Madison. As you can see, this Spanish-style architecture, this is what kind of made Kensington set it apart from other neighborhoods here in San Diego. I believe it was formed in 1926, which was a big selling point, were the type of houses, the red tiles, the white buildings, the large door frames. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods for that reason. When I first moved down here to San Diego, I found this area and just the housing really set it apart for me. So yeah, in 1926, this neighborhood was kind of marketed as for the Spanish-style architecture and single-family homes. It was by a developer out of Pasadena, California. Can't think of his name right now. But it was known as Kensington Heights originally. Across the street here. See, these type of houses I really like a lot. It's what brought me to this neighborhood and many others. Kensington is rather a small place. So we're on the south end of Kensington. Now we're coming up to the market square, the little small market square on Adams Avenue. They have a wine bar, a couple coffee shops. They have a well-known theater that attracts many people. Also, a movie rental place. It's pretty much the last blockbuster that's remaining. Not a blockbuster, but similar to a blockbuster. So they got a nice little park here. You'll see the families bring their kids here. And right there is the library. We're coming up on Village Vino right now. And then we're gonna go east on Adams. Right here's Village Vino. It's the iconic sign of Kensington, like how every other San Diego neighborhood has. It's really cool. That's what I really like about San Diego, how they separate their neighborhoods. So you got Bergen Lounge, some real estate companies here. Starbucks Coffee, another coffee shop. And right now we're on Adams. Then we're going to take a left here, Marlboro, and go through some of the northern housing. Let's cross over here. So now we're going north on Marlboro. And I want to try to make it to this mansion, but it's on the way north. I think I'll have the time. It's a small place, but there's this mansion called Beth Sarim. It's a 10-bedroom mansion that was built for essentially all the prophets of the Old Testament. I can't recall the names. It's also known as the House of Princes. I'm trying to make it there. It's owned by the Jehovah's Witnesses. So I think I'll be able to get there. But I think you've noticed also the north end of Kensington, in my opinion, is a little bit nicer as you get far north. As you get further north, you tend to get bigger homes, more space. You get canyon views if you have one of the outer homes. And as you get more south towards El Cajon, you can see the stark difference between the housing and real estate is way more expensive up here. You'll see the quality of homes. So we're gonna pretty much go until we hit Hilldale Road. You can see it's essentially the typical suburbs, right? I mean, the homes are so close to the road. You got your own little section off yard, built right next to each other. I like the aspect of this architecture, but I don't like how close they are to each other. You see the large door frames right there, what I was talking about. See how nice. You'll start to see some nice houses that really have immaculate lawns that are really maintained well. So it's quite interesting with the name of the place, Kensington, and all the street names, such as coming up on here is Canterbury. You have Hilldale, and then Kensington itself, and they're all English names, but with Spanish-style architecture. So you'd think at a first glance that this has English roots, but it's actually Spanish roots, dating way back in, I want to say, the late 1800s. I'm not too familiar with the history right now. I'm doing more research on that, but it's a really interesting story. So after this street is Hilldale, which is what we'll take a right on. But yeah, Kensington has just a bunch of winding roads throughout the neighborhoods. Let's see. This is Limer. I'm going to try to speed up my walking to try to fit this in a little bit more of a 10-minute video. Okay, made it to Beth Sarum. It's the bedroom mansion I was talking about. Yeah, it was built in 1929 in the anticipation of the resurrection of the 10 prophets. Can't name the prophets right now, but a lot of history involved in it. Different owners. It's now under private ownership, but I know that Jehovah's Witnesses were involved. Then also this organization called the Watchtower owned it for a little bit, and I had to cut off the video. It was just a lot further of a walk than I anticipated. It would have probably been a 20-minute video if I left it up, so but I want to conclude my video with this since I said I would. And it's quite a nice place, and it's marked as a historical landmark within Kensington. So, and that's the conclusion of my video through Kensington Heights.